here, about 20 dB over S9, and just solid copy. And yeah, so there you go. WD4 in Fayette. But yeah, the weather-wise, it's about 55 degrees outside, nice and clear. Yeah, it is beautiful. But yeah, I remember my days living up in Devon and Wayne in that area, right off of the main line there, Route 30, and how, you know, sometimes we wouldn't get anything, and then you went just a little bit west down to Paoli or you know, Berwyn, and then suddenly, man, they'd get dumped on, and then you could go out to Coatesville and there's nothing, and then you go a little past Coatesville and you get out towards Hershey and Nazareth, and all of a sudden, man, you got West Pennsylvania snow there. And it seems like Chester County, Delaware County, Bucks County, Montgomery County,
I heard you in there, Bob. We got you.
County never really seemed to get the same snow that just over the ridge, you know, King of Prussia and the von Muhlenberg Place, man, they'd get it all. And Valley Forge would get it. Valley Forge is always very nice, and then going up towards Norristown and Plymouth Meeting and around there, they'd always get it. So yeah, it seems like it would snow in pockets. I remember that really well. It was very frustrating because we'd have to go to school. I remember we'd wake up in the morning and we'd tune on, what was the station? KYW. Yeah, it was KYW News Radio. All news, all the time. And they would announce the school closings by counties. And so, you know, we'd be up like 5:30 in the morning and Mom would be cooking either oatmeal or chocolate cream of wheat. Yeah, you're right. It's like that. We had an I-95 exit right there in Paoli too, and it seemed like 95 did seem to be sort of a marcation zone. That's really weird. Good observation there. W3MMR, WD4NKA.
Yeah, real good, Gary. We got Bob, N1TZU broke in there. I'll get it right up to you, Bob. Real good. And then, Bob, you can send it down to Gary, okay? Let me make a quick one here, and we'll get it right up to you. Good copy all the way around. Yeah, Bob, Gary, there's a lot of snow. There's a lot of banding that goes on here with the snow. You know, lots of it's all about where those heavy bands set up. And like you said, it could, there could be 12 to 14 inches here. You go further west and north, 5 or 10 miles, they only got 4 to 6 inches. You go further west, they got 2 feet, It's just where all the bands set up. And it could be as minimal as one place gets barely anything, and then 20 miles away, case in point, my dad gets a foot. So it's usually how it is here. And I always seem to end up on the short end of the stick. Like I said, I enjoy the snow, man. I know Bob gets a lot of snow up north there in the cold country of New Hampshire, and boys up in Maine and northern New York and western Mass, and even eastern, any of Massachusetts, really, Vermont. I mean, you guys get a lot more snow up there than we get down here, that's for sure. But I'll tell you, he gets a lot of snow. Mike, K3FEF, up in Milford, PA, up in the Poconos, they always seem to get hammered. Like, that's always like the hotbed, it seems like, because they're always cold enough, okay? And, a little further south and east, it's always a little bit too warm, it seems like, sometimes, and they'll get hammered and we'll get all rain, so. All right, up to you, Bob. Hopefully the band's holding up. You can hear Gary and you can hear myself, and Gary can hear you, and we can make another round of it. N1TZU with WD4NKA. This is W3MMR.
Amazing. 30 degrees this morning. It was bitter cold there. We got a dusting, which was the day before yesterday. But we haven't had any significant snow for a bit, for a while now. So, we're hoping for more. The wife and I don't mind the snow at all. And of course, I'm from Maine originally. 60s, 70s, it seemed like it snowed every weekend through the winter, so I remember snowstorms that, we'd get, a dumping of a foot or two each snowstorm, that kind of thing. Of course, it hasn't been like that for quite a few years now, but anyways, things are fine up here this morning. We've been up since 4 o'clock. 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I was hearing what you were talking about there, Perry, on 85 here. Some type of area with a whole bunch of different tones. So somebody was doing some kind of crazy testing, and who knows what it was. Anyways, I won't keep you there, Perry. I know you said you wanted to go watch some TV and stuff. I just want to jump in here and say good morning. So, I've been listening to some podcasts this morning and all that kind of stuff, which I usually do, keeping up with what's going on in this crazy world, So, anyways, over to you there, Gary, if you're copying me. WD4NKA. This is Bob up in New Hampshire, Littleton, New Hampshire. N1TZU here. Over to you there, Gary.
Go ahead, Gary. Send it down to you.
Trying to also bring him up on the K3FEF, and I could see the signal, but I couldn't hear any audio coming out of that. So, some of us, but that's not unusual conditions for me. This time of the morning, I never hear New England, or very rarely. I had a real rare three-way with Charlie and Tim up in Maine. and then it's really, and then after that, it never really, those conditions never really quite replicated themselves. So, yeah, it's interesting. Now I can hear New England really nicely, around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, midnight, 1, 2, but as we approach the dawn side of Gray Line, very, very typically, the cutoff for me is right where you're at, and sometimes New York, but, any further north than New York City, I think, or Binghamton, the upstate begins to fade away, and Mass, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, you usually cannot hear them at all. I can't tell you last time I talked to Chris up there, I think Chris is in Connecticut, and it's been a long time, so yeah, conditions are subject to change without notice, you know how that is. So anyway, I missed Bob's transmission entirely, but it wasn't for lack of trying. I was trying to get him on a web SDR. Like I said, I could hear the carrier was very fine, but I wasn't getting any audio out of the carrier. I thought maybe there was something wrong with the audio on my iPhone. But then when I keyed myself, I was starting to feed back. I could hear myself well, so it wasn't audio, it was something else. Who knows? So I'm going to turn it back over to you there. I'll turn it to you, and since I can't hear him, you'll have to, of course, redirect for me. W3MMR. WD4, never to millimeters.
WD4NKA, excuse me, W3MMR. Oh, okay. I was looking at something else there. Well, that's a long trip for you and Bob right now. Bob's all the way up in northern New Hampshire, and you're all the way in Florida. It's 6:30 in the morning. I mean, the fact that you guys can even hear each other, even a blip, is good, I think. And because I'm right smack dab in the middle of you two, so I can hear both of you. Real quick, Bob, you had mentioned about the cold and the snow and stuff. Yeah, you're pretty cold up there right now. Actually, not much colder than we are, like you said. Not much colder, but definitely colder. But next week's supposed to get really, really cold, I think. You're going to be single digits up there, Bob. We're going to be in the teens down here. And it's just, par for the course for this time of year. So, look, I'm going to bid adieu, man. I'm going to get on out of here at 6:30. I'm going to start getting ready for work here in about 20 minutes or so. Around 7 o'clock, we'll start getting ready for work. And, just checking out the forecast here. So, anyway, I'll turn it up to you, Bob. Tie the ribbons on it, and I'll send it down to Gary. Gary, you make your final, and then we'll go ahead and get on out of here. But really great hearing you boys this morning. Maybe I'll be in here a little earlier tomorrow, and we can actually make it work, but got up a little late today. N1TZU with WD4NKA. This is W3MMR.
Yep. Okay, Perry. You have yourself a wonderful day. Yeah, and I could hear Gary was there, and I probably would only catch maybe 20% of what he was saying. So, yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's 1,000. What did I see there? 1,000. The details on that is let me see, 1,182.8 miles. So, that's quite a stretch. It's quite a stretch to do. So, anyway. Yeah, and like I was saying, we had some pretty frigid nights there. There was one Monday morning we woke up to it was -4 degrees. So the heat system was definitely struggling to keep the house warm because I don't quite have all the baseboard done yet. So anyway, no big deal. And I got a little bit more done the other day. So anyway, you have yourself a wonderful day there, Terry, and tell Gary, I send my best down to Florida there. So Back to you there, Perry. Perry, W3MMR. This is N1TZU. I'll be listening out.
All right, Bob. Take care, man. Always great to hear you. Stay warm, dude. And we'll chat next time. Down to you, Gary.
Okay, real good. W3MMR and W4. Interesting. Uses W4. It must come from the Southland. TZU, WD4, NKA. Yeah, you're right. Being up in New Hampshire, in fact, I can't hear them. I just can't make out what's being said, but I can detect the presence of the carrier, and I can tell that there's modulation and press the time. I just can't understand what's being said. The noise level is the S9 noise level. You're down here in the subtropics. And that's considered good on this band. Gosh, I hate to hear it on 160. But today, or this morning, it's like right around 5 and 4. Or so it reads on the RME 4350 here, which tends to be a little exaggerated, you might say. I think it's a little hot, probably the meter reading. So I have to take them into contact, because it'll read something else entirely on the Hammerlin, and with the Cheeto meter that's calibrated 1 through 9. So yeah, I just look at how far the meter is swinging and just sort of gauge it that way. But yeah, like you said, in fact, I can hear them at this distance, spanning the whole top to bottom of this part of the continent. Is pretty amazing when you think about it. Your signal's hanging in very nicely there, though. Okay. Hey, so you're on 160, I guess. What's life like on 160 meters? W3MMR, WD4NK.
Yeah, life on 160 has been fun. I've been having a lot of fun on 160 this year. I've been doing a lot of AM on 1885, and so I was getting on a sideband every night with my dad around 6:15 for like 15 or 20 minutes around on 1857, 1860, and getting on sideband for a little while. Like I said, only for 15 or 20 minutes after work, and then head back into the living room there. But I've been doing a lot more AM at night now, so but still try to get on 160 as much as I can. I try to get on there in the morning on 1885. Sometimes, Gary, Glennon 1SNG, and Chris AJ1G, Gary K1IC will be on there. Usually get a good group on there. A lot of the times there, Gary. So, all right, Gary, I'm going to say 7:30. I got to run down the hall, hit the command center, then I'm going to kick my feet up on the couch for 25 minutes before I got to start getting ready for work. So, what day is it? What is it, Thursday? 2 more days, man. Well, 3 more days, including today. Then it's back to the weekend. 7-3, Bob. 7-3, Gary. It's always fun, boys. And, Gary, your signal is holding up very well up here. And same with you, Bob. You guys are both were coming in fantastic. Just unfortunate that you guys are so much farther away. And I'm right here smack dab in the monkey in the middle. 7-3, Bob. 7-3, Gary. Tie the ribbons on it, Gary. We'll catch you later. WD4NKA with N1TZU on the side. This is W3MMR, clear and listening.
Okay, real good. W3MMR, WD4NKA. And yeah, before you go, I got to tell you my one and only 160 story. I never frequented it, but I used to listen to it. One of my first receivers was a regenerative two-step. It's called a 1V2. It's our 1V1 regenerative. It's a detector and one stage of audio. I guess you would call that an OV1. Anyway, so I wound the coil to cover the top end of the broadcast band and then 160 meters. And this is many, many years ago. And my antenna, back in those days, I actually had an 80-meter dipole for code. And I used to hang out on 37, wherever it was, 3775, something like that. I don't know. I forget what the band was then. So I'm listening to these guys on 160 meters, and I guess I fell asleep, and somehow I hit the headphones on, but the detector was oscillating, and it was oscillating pretty hard, which meant that I accidentally kicked the regeneration way in advance. So I was probably putting out about maybe a 20th of a watt signal, loosely coupled to that overhead antenna. And so I quickly turned the regeneration, way down to normal autodyne detection. And I'm hearing this group of 160-meter people talking about the carrier that suddenly went away and that it was on all night, and it was just really driving them nuts. And of course, these guys are hither and yon all over the continent. And this would have been about 1985, 1986. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I bet you. So I had this carrier on 160 all blasted night long, 1/20th of a watt. And then when I retuned it back down to normal proportions, to them the carrier had disappeared. So I thought, yeah, that would make sense. So anyway, that's my one and only 160 experience, I'm afraid. Go ahead and hit the couch here, Perry. Good talking with you, and we'll catch you like a while ago. W3 MMR, WD4, never kiss alligators. I'll be clear in listening.
Great story, Gary. You and them regens, man. You like all that really, really old stuff, dude. It's always fun to follow your stuff on Facebook too, man, and in the group, in the AM group, and always some good stuff, always great stories. Have a fantastic day, Gary. Bob, if you're still listening, you do the same. We'll catch you boys next time down the wire. 73 W3 MMR, Chester, Pennsylvania is clear and listening. Click, click. Oh, my God. I haven't heard that in a while.
I couldn't resist.
See you, man.
Hey, good morning, Perry. KN4HH.
Hi, Bob. Good signal up this way, man. We'll catch you next time. KN4HH, W3MMR. See you, Bob. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.
Hey, same to you. And I hope everything's going well with you, Perry. You're great. 10/9. Thanks so much. Have a great day. KN4HH.
Oh, things are going to the right, man. I'm here. I'm 6 feet above the ground. Well, 5'6" feet above the ground, and it's going to be a good day, Gary. Or excuse me, Bob. Headed to the salt mine, so it's going to be a good one. Catch you later, Bob. It's always a pleasure, man. Good signal up this way. KN4HH W3MMR.
7-3 guy. Take care.
Bob, you're about 30 over here.
Man, Gary, this is the loudest I've ever heard you. You're almost 20 over. Just a great signal this morning. I'm delighted to hear you. And it sure is fun to hear you on sideband, too. WD4NKA, KN4HH.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, or some of the group, I noticed that it seems that y'all meet there every other day, or is it an everyday thing? Because I think either I miss you, or there are days that you guys don't get on. Is there a schedule there for 7203?
Yes and no. It's first of all, it's not a net. We just started about 20 years ago. We started out as a Collins Collectors Group. There are a group of us that were into restoring the old pre-war and just post-war Collins equipment, and it just kind of morphed into what it is. And yeah, it's 7 days a week. 365. Even on holidays, we rarely miss a day, Gary Orr.
Okay, real good. Yeah, it's I know you guys begin usually right about the time that I have to get off. Right about 6:45, around 7 o'clock is when my morning begins, and that's when I start feeding the animals, and then I start getting the morning prep to go to work. Today I have off. Today's an off day. It's one of my unusual Thursdays off. So I may be able to, unless my sweet wife has other plans, I may be able to get on 7203 this morning. But yeah, it seems like usually you guys are just starting to really get going right about the time I have to get off. So I'm able to get in, maybe say one or two things, and then leave. Same thing is true with there's a new AM group, I guess, that's starting to meet and collect on 7290 on Tuesdays, I think. And they meet, again, right when I have to I never get a chance to talk with them, but yeah, it's enjoyable to get in on and do some sideband. As much as I love AM, I like them all. I like all the modes, real honestly. Sideband is a lot easier for me because the rig I use for sideband requires like no tuning. I just turn it on, boom, there it is. It's my Kenwood TS 120S. That rig, it's hard to believe that rig was made in 1979. It's actually quite old, but for me, it's the most modern rig in the station. And whenever I feel like I want to go modern, I turn that on. I guess it's like having hydromatic when you're used to hydromatic transmission when you're used to having a free in the tree Ford Model A, right? KN4HH, WD4NKN.
Okay, just leave a little bit of space there. WD4NKA, KN4HA. Yeah. We're on the floor. I'll tell you what. Well, I'm transitioning, Gary. We're moving to a smaller house in kind of a. It's not a retirement community, but they kind of cater to folks over 50. And what's nice about it is that they have a nice little organization. Everybody looks after everybody. It's a small house, maintenance free. The association takes care of everything, and we just need to do that. Well, it's a smaller house by 1,000 square feet, so I'm downsizing quite a bit. I'm just going to end up with just I'm going to try and have one vintage AM radio and one modern sideband radio. Right now, I'm talking to you on the ICOM 7300. Driving a solid-state amplifier to about 200 watts of Curie. And I've also got the Flex 6500 here. And it's going to be a very sized-down operation, but it'll still be an operation. I'll still get to tinker around with little things. The nice thing is I'm going to be very near all the Atlanta hams. I'm kind of orphaned down here. There's nobody down here but me and one or two others. The rest of the guys are up a lot moving. So now I'll be within 15 or 20 minutes of all the guys, and they have a lot of get-togethers, but it's such a long trip for me that I don't get to go to a lot of them. So anyway, that's what's going on here, Gary. We're just we're getting ready to pull the plug probably at the end of the month, and then I'll be off the air for maybe a week, and then I should be back up on again since I got a couple of really good friends that are we're gonna put a stealth antenna out back behind the house, which is nice because it's just a gully. There's nothing back there. There's no other houses behind us. There's a big ravine with a lot of high hardwood trees. So I think we'll be in pretty good shape. WD4NKA, KN4. Oh, by the way, I was going to tell you, we start on 7203 at 7:30 Eastern. Well, that's right, you're on Eastern time. Delta, yeah. And then we go till about 8:30. Although I QRT at 8 because at 8 o'clock. And the band is probably too short. Sometimes I can hear Art, but not very often. We have an AM group on 3725. That group kicks off at 8 o'clock. What did you want her to know? WD4NKA, KN4HH. W4AF.
Hey, Matt. Good morning. W4X, WD4NKA. The dogs are letting me know I need to start moving along my morning, so I'll be in and out. But at least I'm off today, so I'll have a good chance of maybe getting back in there this morning. Well, maybe I can check. When you said that about the 7290 group, I went ahead and turned on the HQ129X. I'm going to let it burn in. And then later on, I'll go ahead and recap the ground plane up on the roof for 40 meters to see if I can't maybe get in and join that. Monday, especially Monday nights, we have Novice Rig Night where we celebrate our DX60s and HT40s and our homebrew 6Ls. Whatever gave us our first voice on as a novice, whether it be a FT101 or a 66 on a piece of wood with an S38E receiver or something. That's kind of what we celebrate. So it's AM, CW, and a little dose of side band. Gotta go feed the dogs, guys. Let me go ahead and turn over the Mac W4X. Sounding real good down here, and Bob, you continue to sound good. And at some point, maybe later on, remind me to ask you about your stealth antenna, what you're planning to put up. But I can't hear that now. I've got to go feed the dogs before they wake everybody up. W4X, go ahead and take it up. WD4, never kiss alligators. I'll be temporarily silent. KK5 IM.
All right, good morning, Jay. I'll pass to you, and then you can pass to Bob, KN4HH, and thank you, Gary, WD4NKA, W4F. Good copy all the way around, and everybody's got a good signal. Bob, you're strong locally as well. Jay, you sounded good on that transmission. Well, it is almost 31 degrees here, but another freezing day. So I think we're going to have some more cold weather coming. And I went to the specialty wood store yesterday, bought 2 planks of wood, spent $200 for 2 planks of wood. So, like you say, Jay, that stuff is kind of tight. So then went out to dinner last night, had Mexican with Paris and Adelaide. We had a nice dinner tonight. KK5IM, and then on to Bob, W4F.
Somebody way down there. Anyway, morning Mac, morning Bob, KK5IM from Texas. There's Gary in here. Yep. Anyhow, we had a great season today. Anyway, we had a good time. A lot of downtime. But, anyway, out there process is build schedule money and keep up with next week. We're going to talk to Kent KN4HH. J4JCP.
There's Mr. Clemens. Good morning, Joe. I'll get it to you here in just a minute. KK5IM in the group, KN4HH. Well, good morning to you, Jay. Very nice signal, by the way. You're almost 20 over. Really, really good copy. Nice, of course, nice audio as always. Well, good. I'm glad you got the shoot out of the way. And, we used to call those the WYSIWYG assignments. What you see is what you get. Whenever I was the photographer in our EMI lab at Texas Instruments, and I had a 4x5 speed graphic and all the stuff, and that was my job. Whenever we had a test set up, part of the report had to show the item under test in the actual environment. So it was pretty interesting because lighting conditions were terrible in the EMI chamber. So I got real creative, and back then we didn't have much to work with. So I always, at the bottom of the we didn't even have sticky notes back then. A little piece of paper clip that said WYSIWYG on it. And but anyway, I'm glad Laney was with you. You guys make a good team. I'll bet that worked out really well. So that's good. You know, Mac, you were telling us the other day you were going to go get the exotic wood and all that. You know, back in the olden days when they used to trade stuff instead of having paper money, with the cost of goods now, I can see you trading pieces of wood, going down to the Walmart and giving them a piece of poplar for a bag of sugar. Oh well. Anyway, I'm glad you found some good wood, because I know you're going to put it to good use, and I always look forward to seeing your project. So I hope you'll share this one with us when you get it up and done. Okay, it is 36 degrees here this morning and foggy. It is IFR this morning, so there you have it. Okay, Joe, we're sure good to check in with you on 7251 yesterday. Finally glad we caught each other. And if you would, send it to Mac, please, Joe. K4JCP, KN4HH.
NKA is still in there or not, but good morning all the way around. Like I said, I'm on the old 610 this morning, and boy, that swim lead dried out in a hurry. Well, this is coffee this morning. See a lot of salt on that swim lead out there. All right, now we're halfway normal, which is about par for the course for me, I suppose. Oh man, yeah, I guess the old saying was keeping up with the Joneses, so now you keeping up with the Max, I guess. Oh, well. Speaking of Max, W4AX.
I had a problem where one of my tooling bits, where the collet hit the side of the work, and so I ordered a longer quarter and 10 mil, and I'm hoping that'll fix the problem. So anyway, just thought I'd recommend that to you. And Bob, I used to love to go in HP acoustic chambers, what they call it, anemomic, or I can't remember what they called it. There was no sound reflection. It was really eerie, because there was such an absence of sound that almost hurt your ears. And HP has these very precision microphone devices, and any piece of equipment has to go in there, and they listen for objectionable noise. And it might just be a gear somewhere. They can identify the specific gear that's making the noise, and then go back and re-engineer it or whatever. And then there's the EMI chamber to look for unwanted emissions, and it's set up similar way, but with the antennas in a different chamber. And it's totally radio dead quiet chamber, and it's amazing how they can detect things and fix them. I watched them do that. Even though I probably should have been working, but that stuff is really interesting to me. I have another chamber, by the way, that simulates all kinds of heat and dryness to see how printers work. They're talking about what you find in the desert. And another chamber that simulates tropical conditions, moisture levels of 99% humidity and high temperatures, and another chamber of low temperatures. So they just got all these things they run their equipment through before they put them out. Oh well, enough of that. KK5IM, W4N.
W4WSZ. Feeding through RHR.
I heard Bob and somebody else in there said before, WSZ. Mac, where did they have the room at HP with the
65-year-old man trying to hook the printer up to the computer, right? Well, they actually have bring people in off the street for usability testing. So there's a room for that, and another room where they bag on the computer with printer signals and have it print 24 hours a day for a month and stuff like that over. Well, I think the customer being the last inspector. Remember those signs that they used to put up everywhere? The customer is the final inspector. You know, but they don't seem to worry about how to make it. Well, you know, I guess I'm sure they do all that testing overseas now. They probably can't do it. But anyway, man, I'll tell you what, Bob, I don't know, you probably there's no break. Either on your 35 but it's just filming up there. It's just crazy. I mean, people are in here pretty well shook off the hill. And Texas is a little bit up to here. There's got a whole lot of people down with cold makes basically hospital. And now it's right back. Busy. W4WSZ, that's Bob number 2. So Bob number 2, you come to Bob number 1, and only the 1 and 2 is assigned by the W4WSZ, then the KN4HA.
I've got you, Greg.
Okay, Jay. I think that's a good system. This W4WSZ. I'm glad that I'm going to pass it to Bob because I just caught part of what I thought I heard, and I want to clarify that before I run get the second cup of coffee. Bob, did I hear you say that one time you were with Texas Instruments, and if so, what time factor?
Bob, I was with TI up at the Richardson plant in the, 1968 to 1974 time frame.
I guess it was about 4 years earlier. I was down on 7th Avenue, and that it doesn't seem like it's been that long ago, but it was. But there were 2 of us. I kidded my youngest brother, who was the security administrator for Texas Instruments worldwide, and at that time you could not employ 2 members of the same family. So I made him make it worth my while for me to move on so that he could assume that position. But anyway, it gets to be a small world. TI employees enjoyed a great position. I found that if you walked into a place to buy an automobile or anything else, and they asked you a place of employment, you told them that you were with Texas Instruments, they knew then that you were solid or you wouldn't be there. Over to you, Bob. KN4HH in the group, W4WSZ.
Okay, very good, Bob. W4WSZ in the group, KN4HH. We've also got another joiner, our good friend Greg, KB3RHR. Greg, I'll turn it over to you here in just a minute. I made an advertisement for you a little bit earlier about the 7290 group, so I'm really glad to hear you this morning. Yeah, those were good days, Bob. I'll tell you what, that was a good employment there. I was in the government products division up in the Richardson plant, and I traveled to Lemon Avenue occasionally, and also we had a Plano facility just before I left, and I worked at the Plano facility on a couple of projects, but that was pretty interesting work. And Mac, you're thinking of the anechoic chamber. B.F. Goodrich manufactured the anechoic material. They look like little spikes on foam rubber, but it was very expensive stuff. In fact, I built one of the chambers and put that anechoic material up there because we did sound level tests as well in the government. Back in those days, boy, when we were doing forward-looking infrared stuff, all of the cryogenics were just noisy. The fans were noisy, and so we had to do test measures. We had special B&K audio monitoring equipment, and we had to do sound level tests. So I know what you exactly mean. I think it's kind of eerie in those chambers, but yeah, those are the anechoic material chambers. And I'll tell you what, B.F. Goodrich was mighty beholden to us because we spent a lot of money with him building those chambers. But anyway, that was a good time as well. Okay, let me keep it on going on around. And Jay, I remember North Richmond Hills, but I'm sure I wouldn't recognize it now. Well, I might. I was doing work up at Alliance Airport, and I remember seeing things I had never seen before up there after Alliance went in. But of course, that was a long, long time ago. So you're right. I'm sure I wouldn't recognize it at all now. So, and I'll just rely on you to tell me how it is, so I don't have to make a trip up there. Oh, okay, Greg. Here it comes, and if you would turn it to Joe, K4JCP, KB3RHR. Good to hear you, Greg. KN4HH.
Yeah, well, good to hear all you guys. Bob, good to hear you. Good signal. Mac, great signal. Joe, good signal. Everybody's got a good signal. So I just woke up late today and heard you guys. I was sitting here. I'm in the solid state room, and heard you guys were on the loop and thought, well, we better say hello to those fellas. Jay, good to hear you. So you guys are all doing real well here in Pittsburgh. And I missed out on a job, Bob, because I never worked at a chamber. I could have had a job at Harris. I was on the second interview, and I knew nothing about chambers. And it took me out. So I could have been in military communications had I known anything about chambers. The only chamber I think I know anything about is gas chamber, so that left me out. So, oh well, you live and learn. But good to hear you guys this morning, and just listening along. K4JCP, if you can copy KB3RHR.
See ya. Great. K4JCP, good morning to you. Great. It's about, I guess, 70% copy, I suppose. It's not real on sure, but it's in there. You guys talked about the TI. Reading an interstate book called Chip. And it's the story of the basically the transistorized chip with more than one transistor on it, that the ones with the circuits on it, and of course Intel and TI were big into the beginnings on that, so it makes interesting reading. I'll tell you what, it's my slurs are going crazy this morning. I guess must be a lot of salt, I guess, on the wind lead out there, and it picks up a little bit of dew between transmissions, so it's like the old dog chasing its tail. But anyway, everybody's in here good and solid except for Craig, and it's, like I said, about 70%. So good morning all the way around. Interesting stories about, and morning to you, K4WF Good, good solid copy also. Here she comes, Mac 94AX and the group, K4JCT.
K4JCT, C4S, thanks, Joe. Good morning, Craig. Good to hear you. And you're complete with Q5 here, so great signal and in full flight again to the receiver here. Boy, I wish I was able to join your 7290 net a little more frequently, Craig, but it's right in the middle of my chore time. I mean, my most productive time when I'm outside working or doing things is right at that time, and to take a break to go sit in front of the radio just kind of disrupts all the momentum I've got going. Because by about 2 o'clock, I'm out of gas and ready to take a little break for the day. So it's a great net. It's sure great that you're doing that, keeping AM alive on 40 meters. It's just tough to fit into my schedule. Or my work style, maybe is a better way to say it. And Jay, you'll be pleased to know all the testing I described is done in Boise, Idaho. So it's all U.S.-based. About the only thing that HP does, well, there's some stuff done in Spain, and there's some stuff done in Malaysia, and a little bit of stuff in China, and of course Taiwan. But almost all of the research and development is done in Boise, Idaho. KK5IM, W4U.
Okay, man, W4AX, KK5IM. First off, right out of the Fat Mountain Box, good morning, Craig, KB3RHR. Just a real pleasure to hear you this morning, guys. It's been a while. Happy New Year to you. Hope you're not freezing to death. Closer to what used to be. But anyway, real pleasure to be here. Well, to both back in the day, America, Age of American Greatness, which was before about 6, 7 years ago. Emphasis on Collins Radio, another company, Open State. They were the reason that the city of Richardson received out. I would say probably 75 to 80% of all the Richardson built by Collins. That whole quadrant up there, and this was well before the day. Central Expressway and All-Line Highway bound. I think at the time, 350,000 square feet. Even bigger. And, everybody in there, everything. I used to know a lot of exactly right. You said you worked for either one of those companies, Collins or Texas. quite a place. All over that. And that's, I believe, that's what that went with the Raytheon stuff. The Raytheon took off. They TI so long. That was a long time. Many years. I got my eyes on that, but that was the first building for GS. And right next door to it was the Roper. Roper, where they made radar rings. So, driving down 11th Avenue there, you never knew, but most all of that is shipped offshore. At least the Chinese permeated all of that. So anyhow, Bob, I don't know if you remember that other company. W4WSZ, KK5. Joe, good morning to you.
Okay, Jim. I'm scratching the other side of my head, trying to recall the third one. But I mentioned earlier that I left TI and so that my younger brother could, so they could hire my younger brother. Anyway, I was very fortunate. I went over to Collins and walked in and asked for an interview and got an interview and left there with a job. So I managed to work for both of those great companies. But I guess the best years probably were spent with TI. My kids would ask me, what did you do there? And to my knowledge, and Bob may very well have the same thing, I think what I did you still can't talk about. So I'm about to the age now that where I've forgotten what I did, so I guess I'm no longer a security risk. But I still can't get that third company. I thought I had it then, but I didn't. It'll come to me after that goes off, and then I'll forget what it is by tomorrow. So, anyway, good to talk to you guys this morning. I've got some personal stuff to take care of. My 18-year-old great-grandson was tested positive for the virus yesterday, and he's upset mostly because he can't work for the next 5 or 6 days, and then he's checking me in to see if all is well. So hopefully he won't develop any more symptoms, and things will be okay there. Okay, Bob, here she comes. And I do not hear the Craig this morning, so I'll join the list of those who can't hear you. But if you copy me, great to have you with us this morning. KN4HH, W4WSZ.
Bob, that company was over in Garland, and I cannot remember the name. And don't worry about that. It's nothing but a bad cold.
Okay, buddy. Thanks. Jay, are you thinking of Vero?
What did you say, Bob? There was a break there.
There was a company in Garland called Vero, Victor Alpha Romeo Oscar.
Well, yes, there was. That wasn't it. A lot of the TI or the Collins guys went over there. And I think it was after Roswell bought it. So they got one of those roads in there, Bob. There was about 10. All in.
Oh boy, you're bringing back some memories, and I know what you're talking about. down, I think was it Gus Thomason Road? No, that's too far up. But or maybe it was Garland Road. I think I know exactly. But I remember Vero had a big deal. Matter of fact, Vero had a contract to build a monorail system, but it never got off the ground. The only other company that I know of that TI was involved with, believe it or not, was Clixon. Up in Attleboro, Massachusetts. That was a TI company for a long time. I don't even know if they're, well, yeah, Clixon's still around, but I don't know who owns them. But interesting. I'll have to think about that, Jay. I should know that, but I don't. Very, very good. W4WS in the group KN4HH. Well, Bob, I'm certainly sorry to hear about the positive test, but hopefully no symptoms will arise and he'll be able to get back to work. So I wish him well on that for sure. And Greg, good to hear you this morning. Nice signal, by the way. You're peaking 10 over 9 here in near the Atlanta area, so awful glad to hear you. And I also, by 9 o'clock, I'm rolling and going, but I will try and get in there. I'll revise my radio schedule and see if I can join you guys in there. But I'll bet you've probably got a nice group by now. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say good morning, because by the time it gets back around to me again, it'll be time to go to 7203. So I'm going to go ahead and get some coffee going and get ready. So, Jay and Mac, I'll see you in just a few minutes. 73s, guys. Greg, hope you have a great day. KB3RHR. Good morning, guys. KN4HH.
Okay, Bob. Good to hear you, and great to get to say hello. And don't worry about it. It is. It's kind of like a crew that shows up in between. We're like the fillers. It's for the guys that are just laying around at 9 o'clock, not doing anything, sipping coffee still. My normal schedule allows me to get home about that time, so I get a little radio time before I have to hit the sheets for midnight. But it's turning out okay. We've had as high as 14 or so guys show up, and little as 3 or 4. But it's just nice to be able to use that spectrum and keep it going. And the guys seem to like it, so I'll keep doing it as long as they like it. Anyway, I'm surprised anybody's actually hearing me. I'm only doing about 120 watts a carrier here on the big loop, so just was up early and listening to you guys, and thought I'd say hello and catch up with you the best I could. But I'll have to get the big rig on later on throughout the week here. So good to hear you guys, and I'm gonna pull plugs here and go get some breakfast. But great to hear you all, and I'm glad you guys are still doing it and still around this new year. So best 7-3 from up here in Pennsylvania, where it's not snowy. It's not been snowy. We have had no snow, but we're due for some snow this afternoon, about 4 inches. So you guys take care, and best of 7-3, and we'll look for you later on. K4JCP to take it. KB3RHR.
Keep twisting the knob, I guess. That's the way to do it. Kind of got it down back out again. It looks like I'm fun this morning. Anyway, I don't know, not the names of all those places out there, but it's going to be interesting to find out what the company was. I know in the book there's quite a bit of mention of the different folks who were getting on board with the computer chips and the different solid state, all the different ones that came along, and the number of transistors and stuff they can get on a chip now. It boggles the mind. Get some of you guys around kind of on the ground floor of that, I suppose. So, anyway, it's been fun this morning too. I know you guys are getting ready to head Each going to keep improving, and should get our home here hopefully in a few weeks. That stuff is I'm sure is no fun. And it seems like nowadays you just go around dodging something or another. Anyway, we'll get through it and move on to something else, I guess. So, Mac, always good to hear you on your signal just holding up nicely this morning. And Jay has come up quite a bit here the last couple of go-rounds. So, I am out there is moving in here. Good to hear everybody. This is Thursday, so guess we'll get back on here this afternoon with them there mullets. We'll go fishing. I hope everybody out there have a nice day, and we'll look forward to firing up all this stuff again. Let's see. W4AX. Take her over there, Mr. Mac. Everybody have a nice day. J4JCC.
Okay, Joe, real fine. And, it's the witching hour for us sidebanders. Hey, Joe, before I leave, have you heard from John, VZS? I haven't heard him on in a bit, over.
No, I have not. And I just got back in town yesterday. Well, actually, Tuesday night. And I did hear him looking back at my log here before we went out of town, which was been about a week ago, Tuesday, I guess. So check on him to see what's going on there. He may just be sleeping in. I don't know. We'll see if we can find out something. W4AX4JCC.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I talked to, this W4WSN, I talked to John every day, and it's a combination of he's sleeping in, and he is having some very severe problems with his hands and fingers, and that's very depressing. He's trying to get the Globe King 400 back in business. He's working in some real tight places, and it's frustrating to him, but I won't say anything bad about him because he might be listening. W4WSN.
Okay, well, thanks. I appreciate it, Bob and Joe. I just want to be sure it's okay. I was going to call him this time, but if you talk to him, Bob, that's good. Well, if there's something we can help with, let us know. No radio work. Just put it aside. But you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. KK5IM, W4AX73.
Okay, Matt. Very good. Well, I'll follow you over there.
Talking about Archie. Well, yeah, who else would be the mullet? Well, we got a bunch of species dinosaurs. Yes, I've heard from him yesterday. Kate continues to improve. Apparently they gave her a new bed. I don't know if it, I guess it's a different type or something that she slept much better and is much more comfortable. We're just keeping her in our prayers. She's getting feeding back and some mobility and I don't know what the situation was initially, but apparently there was mobility problems. I don't know if it was paralysis up at bed now, and it's very local. I presume on that there was some, some speech impairment, I guess. So I'm just making a lot of assumptions here, but all indications are that although it's not a straight line, it's headed in the right direction, I guess. Hopefully that's about as much as I can fill in. I do, try to text him every day just to kind of keep an update. It's like what I heard, this rehab facility maybe anywhere from days to weeks, I guess. We'll just we keep hanging in, and it's going to be rough. KK5IM, K4JC. Okay, Joe, thanks very much for the contact. Coming in all asked about experiment is a lot more serious. I think a lot of the things that sometimes get far away from home. So, no point. Stay there. Very good. All right, well, I'm going to go out and warm up something and get on the business. Always a pleasure. Anyway, we'll see you later. W4WS. KK5IM, Crawford, Texas, and